Alright folks, we're in the terrain room today. We're working on a high elf display. The theme of the army is the phoenix, so we're going to incorporate some of those elements. First off, I start with a 23-inch square, and we have a 2-inch hard styro. We're going to sand the edges here. And I've drawn some rudimentary plans here, really not much. I may as well chuck those. I've done this so much that, you know, it just kind of comes naturally at this point. So I will get back to you. Oh yes, what we're doing is we're going to do 2 hill sections. The trick to a good display board is to make it so that the pieces that you use can be used in a regular game. So I've done this hill. I've used, instead of sanding the hillside, I've used the cutting method to give kind of a sandstone effect. And what we're going to do is we're going to put like little bushes and foliage probably in those places where they would naturally grow. I have yet to do this hilltop. Now, originally, I was thinking I wanted a centered like gate, like a high elf gate with like parapets on either side. But now I've decided to actually skew it and put the main focus here on the side, and so what I'll have to do is somehow I'll have to balance that by basically drawing the eye diagonally across the board instead of straight. All right, great. So here's what we got. We got the rough shapes of our hillsides, and you see that I'm checking to make sure they all line up, and they do roughly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these two together. So I get my glue gun cracking. It's been warming up for about 5 minutes. And I'm just going to go around the edge with some goopiness. And, oh good, put another glue stick in. It cools down and hardens pretty quick, so you got to work quickly. So it's good to have a nice little tub of glue sticks. I like an open thing because it's easier just to grab them. So, okay, good. All right, we're even on that. And, you know, it's really important to remember that you're going to display figures. So when you're making a Warhammer Fantasy board, you got to leave nice big open areas so that you can actually put the figures on. In this case, I'm just going to do the wall is going to be back here, which will be a facade, and that'll allow for 1 or 2 units to be put up here, like a couple of bolt throwers. And if I can, I'll make the parapet maybe have room for some archers up there, and I think that'll be a very nice touch. Okay, so we just went and measured our box, and we found that it's 16 inches thick. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to trim down our square here to 22.5 inches square, which means we're going to have to cut this larger piece just a little bit. Alright, so Rin has bifurcated this swan candle holder thing. I'm going to see if I can incorporate them as some kind of phoenix-like creature in here somewhere. Give them like a little green stuff, correct? Rin's sanding the edges. We did sort of a thing here to kind of, I don't know, make it look more natural. This is the front edges of the display board. It also it'll help the client know which way is up, so to speak. I made these things. These are the side sections of the gates. See how tall those are? Isn't that wonderful? It's going to be great. I also carved in this little stairway thing, and I did that by cutting like this. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then I just did the second step, and then I glued on the leaving from this step on the bottom. But guess what? It doesn't line up right, so I'm going to have to remove that entirely. Okay, so over here, these stairs, I was going to do like a ramp, but it's off balance, and actually now that I look at this all put together, I think it's going to be okay. So we're just going to leave that, and then we're either going to make some parapet things here or a secondary gate over on this side. Let me show you how it's done. I'm going to decide this is going to be 10 inches tall. So let's make my marks. 10. We got some Devo going on in the background here. I love Devo. Reminds me when I was 13. So, oh yeah, and let's do 3-inch base, so 3, 6. Those are just guide marks. So here we go. You want the top one to be slightly smaller than the bottom one, so there you go. So let's cut that out. Okay, and then let's cut this part out. So I get, these are great because they're kind of flexible, and that helps you with your cutting. So nice and slowly and carefully here. Got to make sure I'm going top to bottom, that it's a straight cut and it's not angled. Okay, I think I got it. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm just going to cut these shavers out. I'm not going to sand it because I want this perfect sort of smooth effect. And that's perfect, so let's go ahead and just trace it on our other piece here. And then that'll give that, make that a perfect match. Here we go, cutting it again. Whoops, a little bit of an 1/8 of an inch error there. I think it'll all come out in the wash. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do this secondary thing here. How cool is that? That is going to work. So what I'm thinking, Rin, is what you need to do is you need to put a wall behind here, right? And then right about this high, you're going to put a like a rectangular piece sideways, and that'll form like a little parapet there. And then you could actually put a unit of archers up there. In fact, 10 archers, it'd be 200 millimeters divided by 26, or about 25, would be about 8 inches. So yeah, that's not going to fit a whole unit of 10 archers, unfortunately. But that's how it goes. And what I was thinking is put no wall here, but put an illusion of a wall on this side, and put an illusion of a wall on this side, and simply create a bridge between these two things. And what you can do is, once you put that square piece in there, you can further go along with this theme by creating like little miniature ones of these to actually be buttresses for the bridges. So, for example, like this, right? You'll create another little curved thing underneath that will form a buttress. In fact, do you know what would be a great